All right, welcome back. So we are going to talk about the big fundamental secret. What is it that all the pros are doing that almost none of the amateurs are? And this is available for us to see in the oh so important transition area. So remember, as a bit of a review, what we're talking about is how the shaft works as a proxy for the club face angle and the path that the club is going to produce. So shaft influencing face and path, and how those variables ultimately cause all of the bad directional misses that we hate. So here we're going to start trying to tie it together and show you how to get the face and path and subsequently the shaft in the right position early in the downswing so that we can do all the things we like in the little time we have left before we make contact. So I think it was a PhD, Dr. Sasho McKenzie, who popularized this idea about the relationship between hand path and club head. And simply put, what pros are doing is they are getting the club head behind the hand path early in the downswing with a square to closed club face. I'll say that again. Early in the downswing, pros are getting the club head with a square to closed face behind the hand path. Okay, what is the hand path? Loosely defined here as from the butt of the shaft to the golf ball at the top of the swing, right? And let's watch this. Let's bring back in all our couples, our pros and AMs, and see what this looks like. With Rory here, we've got the hand path drawn. See a beautifully square club face parallel to his lead arm. And if we scroll this forward, we'll see that the club head gets behind that path right around right here. Let's draw kind of a note of where his hands are relative to his body. Right around the top of his head. So here's our amateur on the left. Just kind of want to make a note of where his hands are when the club head, which is going to be about now, is. Where his hands are when his club head gets behind or underneath that hand path, right? He's in the middle of his stomach. All right, let's pull in the next group. All right, so Justin Rose and our good amateur player. Again, we're going to define hand path as the butt of the club to the ball. And then we'll just draw that line all the way up. Our amateur's right here. And again, we want to see this club head getting behind this path or this line early with a relatively square to closed face. Yep. So we'll take Justin forward. We're going to kind of note where his hands are. Okay, there he is. So a different camera angle than Rory, right? But this is going to be up above the head. And kind of as a bonus, let's just watch how this club head tracks relative to that established plane on the way down. You know, it stays left of it or underneath it, but stays relatively close to it. You know, this is going to produce that nice square face and path relative to our target and close to each other that we're looking for. And with our amateur, we'll watch when his club head gets underneath, right? His hands are better than our previous AM, right? Previous AM was down here, but still way different than Justin and Rory, right? And again, kind of as a bonus, let's watch this club head track its way down compared to Justin Rose, right? He's going to get it quite a bit farther away. This is our stuck position again. All right, let's bring in our last group. All right, and last but not least, of course, we're back to Tiger. and our original amateur, so we have to define that hand path again. Draw that line down to the ball and then back up. We'll do the same for Tiger. Draw it down. So Tiger at this time, and his swing has varied through the years, but at this time you can see he actually keeps it there. So, I mean, given that, you know, for large periods of time, nobody was ever any better than he was. I mean, this is something to consider, right? And our amateur. And this is actually not something that is that uncommon. I mean, honestly, for the guys that never do great late shallowing or hit a lot of pull slices, I mean, I see club heads all the time and shafts, or excuse me, club heads that stay up above this line. And this is going to make for some really weak shots, you know, weak cuts, slapping across it. Okay, so let's review that, right? We're trying to get the face and the path to be relatively close to each other. We're using the shaft as a proxy for these things. And the key area that pros pretty much all do the same thing and amateurs pretty much all don't shows up in transition. And what it is that we see is that pros get a nice square to closed face. Just going to kind of match up with that lead arm or be more horizontal. And they get the head underneath this hand path line, which we established very early. Amateurs do not. And all those late downswing compensations are just going to make consistency, the thing that everybody's dying for, very, very difficult. So in this last video, I am going to happily share with you what it is you should pay attention to, what parts of your internal mechanics that you can pay attention to make these changes and fix these issues.